All right, here we go. We got OG Big U in the building.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming in, man.
The show all the time, man.
Okay, so this is your first time on VladTV, so I just kind of want to get into your whole story and your whole history, because you have a very interesting and respected history, especially in Los Angeles.
Right.
So, what part of LA did you actually grow up in?
South Central L.A. Born on 81st and Hoover, raised on which we now call the 60's in Arlington and Slauson, for most of my life.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were born in the 60's?
Yeah, born in '66.
Okay. So you grew up, you were a kid in the 70's.
Right.
Describe LA in your area during that time.
It was kind of like new, because we was moving to the west side of LA, so the west side of LA was kind of just developing, you know what I mean, like for blacks being able to come to LA, and we kind of looked like we was leaving we weren't really on the east side being on Hoover, but it was like that black flight going west. So it was new, it was young. When we moved from the Hoovers to the hood, it was kind of like the first time gangs was coming west at the rate we was coming. And I think Cripping came in '69. My uncle then was original OG Crips. So when we moved to the hood, it was different. And then for us, it was a family element, because my mother had 10 brothers and sisters, and we had like a big South connection. My mother was one sister she was 3 girls and 10 boys.
Wow.
So, and they all come from like a real tight knit. So, and they all came from like this aggressive fight nature. So I can remember my uncles fighting the LAPD in the front yard. I can remember us, having picnics at Van Ness Park. And then it was kind of like, real crazy. Well, for me, it was crazy because my uncle then was like really like big. They were selling weed, real big weed dealers. And sell the weed, use the cocaine.
So during that time, you're talking about the early 70's.
Yeah.
That's when Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington came together. That was like, what, 71, I think?
See, that's kind of like before my time, and it's
Yeah.
like a quagmire with how that's told. With Tookie and Raymond Washington, that was like, them dudes like 10 years older than us. Mm-hmm. And it's a difference between what they was doing and what eventually morphed in what is today. Like, they the original Crips and where the name came from. What we ended up doing after '79 was what we call gang banging. And that was where everything had changed.
So did you know Tookie or Raymond?
I met Tookie in prison. I met Tookie in the county jail.
Ah, okay.
We was all in 1750 together.
Okay.
He came down to fight an appeal for a child custody, I think. And we was actually next door in 1750. I had some cases inside prison, and I had to go get locked. I got locked up, so me and him was right behind each other.
So originally, how did the Rolling 60's actually form?
With and everybody always get upset, but it's different. It's like different dudes how the name came about it. But it was like the permission was supposed to be given to Babyface, and Babyface got the permission to start a fraction of Crips. So somewhere around about, I don't want to be quoted on this, but somewhere around about 70, probably about 73, about 71, 72, they started letting people form their own gangs. And it's like you kind of had to get permission to start your own Crip fraction. And that's where the homies went to try to do their own Crip fraction. And that birthed the 60's. And that came about 73, 74.
Okay. And at what point did you actually join?
I actually never joined.
Aha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You never joined.
I'm I'm one of them guys who just here.
Just around.
Put it like this, it ain't on you, sometimes it's in you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You kind of like, you walk a certain life and you live a certain life and you from a certain area. I like to tell dudes, I ain't from nowhere, I am there. That's what I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's where it's in your heart.